Hi guys, I'm Honor.
And I'm Miranda.
And, okay, everyone has embarrassing stories. I happen to have very many embarrassing stories. So, we're starting this new segment on our channel that we're calling Storytime with 7-Eleven-Beauty. And today, my story goes all the way back to 7th grade, so the grade that Miranda's in now, 4 years ago for me. And we were doing the dreaded pacer test in gym class. Now, I don't know if any of you have ever had to do pacer tests. I assume that a lot of you have. But basically, you run back and forth in the gym and count how many times you can do it. And it gets faster and faster in between the beeps. And it's not a good experience ever. And it was all that fitness testing stuff going on in the gym. And after we were done our fitness testing, we had to go all the way up into the bleachers and sit down and wait for other people to be done. Now, if you know me, you know that bleachers probably aren't the safest thing for me to be climbing on because, well, I'm just clumsy.
She's very clumsy.
Yeah. And I don't really remember exactly how this happened, but my friend and I were like, yeah, let's go all the way to the top of the bleachers, which I hate anyway because I don't like heights and just being up there gives me anxiety and stuff, but I did it anyway. And I was like, nothing can go wrong here. So I was going up and I slipped and my leg fell in between the bleachers. There was one side of the bleachers and there was the bars for that divided them, and then the other side of the bleachers that I was on. And my leg slipped and fell in between the two. And it was painful. My leg was stuck, and they had to stop the entire pacer test to get the entire gym class to pull the bleachers apart so I could get my leg out. And this is not even the worst part, okay? We're not done yet. Okay, once they got my leg out, my gym teacher was like, "Are you okay?" And I was in tears, mostly because of embarrassment and nothing else. There was not that much pain in my leg. I was just super embarrassed that they had to stop the pacer test. And I was like, yeah, sure, I'm fine. And they wanted me to go to the nurse anyway, which was understandable. But the nurse brought a wheelchair to the gym and wheeled me out in it. And surprisingly, this was not the last time that I would be in a wheelchair in my middle school career at middle school. And I don't know if you've ever taken a ride in a wheelchair throughout the school with the nurse angrily pushing behind you, but it's not a pleasant experience because everyone is looking at you wondering what the heck happened that you had to be put in a wheelchair and wheeled to the nurse's office. And honestly, I couldn't tell you what happened because there was really no reason for me to be in a wheelchair. I could still walk and my leg was just bruised. I don't know. I was still fine. I could walk on it. But anyway, middle school wanted me to be safe, so they wheeled me to the nurse's office. And the rest of the day, I spent answering questions oh, what happened? And I'm fell into the bleachers. And I still haven't really lived that down. Anyone who was in my gym class was like, oh yeah, you're the girl that fell in between the bleachers in 7th grade. And I'm like, yep, that was me. So yeah, that was my embarrassing story. Now on to Miranda's.
Okay, so now it's time for me to tell my story, my embarrassing moment. And I'll just start by saying a lot of us have had crushes in our lives, okay? I've only had 3. And one of them, I'm a very open person when it comes to telling my crush that I like them. So I've done that all 3 times. And so I picked one of the most recent times, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about it because embarrassing, but I like to get it out. So, what pretty much happened is, it was at camp. It was at a camp that I go to, and I've been going to for a very long time. And there's this guy there, and he was cute. We're just gonna go with that. I knew him from the year before, but he seemed like he was 16, so I didn't really have any feeling for him. Then this year came along and I found out he was like 13 or 14. And so everything kind of changed, okay? And I decided that I did like him. So I went 2 different weeks to this camp. And the first week, some of my best friends from the year before were there. And I was talking to them, and they thought I liked him, and I denied it every single time for that whole entire first week, even though he was there, and most of them could probably guess that I did like him. So then I went home and finally admitted to them on a group chat that I did like him, and they all freaked out and said they knew it in the first place. So I just kind of ignored that and just moved on. But then the next week came along that I had to go to this camp, and they made it obvious that I liked him, and they tried to tell, like, everyone. Now, what I did not know is that they had told him before I had told him, so I was pretty sure he knew, but he didn't act like he knew, so I just had to tell him in some way. So as the week went on, it's a week-long stay-away camp, and they kept bugging me, and I was telling everyone around me. So pretty much the entire camp knew except for him, but he knew without me knowing. So then, like, at different times I'd be like, okay, I have this riddle, and I tried to get him to guess it with a riddle by saying, like, I was kind of trying to explain, I was like, it has something to do with this, but it's not, like, with this person. And so I was trying to get him to guess it the entire week, and he just wasn't catching on at all.
I was letting on that he was catching on.
Yeah. But I was like, okay, guys are clueless. I'm just gonna go out there and say it, because I pretty much made it obvious that I did like him. And he obviously didn't want to say anything about it, but that's what the other crush that I've had did the same thing. So they acted clueless when I said I have something to tell you. And so one night I was like, alright, I'm gonna finally tell him, like, I'm gonna build up all this courage to tell him. So I went up to him, and a couple other people were around me that I had already told, and one of the girls next to me was the girl that he actually liked, but she said she didn't like him. I didn't believe that. I'm pretty sure she did like him, but she was like trying to encourage me as I was doing this, so I quickly said it and then walked away as fast as I possibly could. And then he ran up to me and was like, wait, what? And he acted like he didn't hear me. And I was like, are you deaf? Like, do I need to say this again? And my heart was racing by this point.
Bye!
I was like, do I have to say it? Like, I kept trying to walk away. And he was like, no, tell me. And he kept running up to me and trying to have me tell him. So then the girl that he liked was like yelling at him, and she was like, come on, you did not hear that? Like, she made it obvious. Like, guess what she's trying to say. So then I went back up to him, same night, and we were in it was like pitch black outside, and we were outside. So it was right after like a game that we played, and I went up to him, and it was really dark, and no one was around us, so I was like, I like you. And I said it right then my heart was like dead, because I was like, I can't do this. And so I then walked like away, and he followed me to like clarify what I had said. And I was like, really? Do you have to follow me? I'm done. And like, I had been told that he had liked me the last week I had gone. And I was like, life is horrible. But I like didn't really know for sure what I was gonna do. And then he had to go with his group. So he had left by that point. And then I walked up to another group of people to talk to them, just normally. And one of the counselors, one of the guy counselors there, that was one of the, like, persons that I liked, it was his, like, best friend. And so he was watching us while I was telling him this. And he was like, so what were you guys talking about? And I was like, nothing, it was a normal conversation. He kept bugging me about it. He was like, no, I know something's up, like, I know what's going on. And I was like, no, nothing, we were having a normal conversation. And he kept bugging me about it. So he was like, no, I know something's going on. I know there's something between you two. And I was like, nothing is going on. Nothing is happening. And, like, I started, like, yelling because I was like, he can't know about this, even though he probably already knows. And, like, he was like, okay, whatever, like, I already know what's happening. And it was just a big moment. And I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. And then the rest of the week, because there was only, like, a couple other days left, I was like, anytime I saw him, I was like, I don't know who you are. I don't. And it was just really embarrassing and a whole lot to take in. But I'm still friends with that guy, and I still talk to him every so often, so we'll see what happens from there. I still like him, yes, and he knows now, so I don't know, we might get together. We're trying to plan something with another group of people, but we'll see. So, okay.
Okay guys, so those were our embarrassing stories for today. If you enjoyed them, please let us know, because I really enjoy telling embarrassing stories, because I have a lot of them.
Yeah, we'll continue this.
So please leave a comment down below. Remember to like this video and subscribe to our channel. We put out new videos every Saturday, and we hope you enjoy. Alright, bye guys.